All right, let's move over to love-hate quarterbacks. And after a 400-yard performance where he was 40 of 47, Justin Herbert highlights the list because, guys, he's got the Raiders this week. And quite frankly, Justin Herbert is just incredible. And on top of that, I think the only thing that would concern me in this matchup is that they just start to blow out the Raiders if Jimmy G can't play and they lean on the run to close out the game. But even with that, the floor for Justin Herbert seems insane going into this weekend.
As long as Garoppolo plays, their defense is so bad.
That's right.
That they don't have a guy on that team that can cover Devontae Adams. I just don't believe that.
Or maybe Jacoby Myers.
Right, or Jacoby Myers as well. So, you see it there on your screen. Raiders' third highest passing touchdown rate allowed. He's my number one quarterback this week. I mean, always people are like, Herbert on the love list, really? Thanks, Barry, Captain Obvious. And I'm like, I get it, but it's always about people that would exceed expectations. And so having Herbert as my number one quarterback this week over Jalen Hurts, over Josh Allen, I think warranted a love list mention. Quarterbacks that face the Raiders this year are completing over 74% of their passes. That strikes me as high.
Yeah, it's like playing in the Big 12.
I mean, basically. It's a little bit. Cut to the Big 12, let me tune in the Peacock. Let me see, and they're catching shrapnel over here. Exactly. We are a Big Ten show, by the way, the Terps 4-0.
Where they play defense.
Yeah, where they do play defense in the Big Ten. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, through 3 weeks, Las Vegas allowing passing touchdowns at the second highest rating, and you saw it there on your screen.
I think Herbert's at the point now, too, where it just doesn't matter what the defense is.
Yeah.
And look, the defense is favorable this week anyway, but I think it's him, Mahomes, Allen. Those are the three guys. It just doesn't matter what you throw at them.
Yeah, and by the way, this will be the first game without Mike Williams, but we have confidence in Josh Palmer. Keenan Allen's playing at a very high level. They might get Eckler back. Hopefully they get him involved in the passing game as well.
And great red zone threat, Donald Parham. Don't sleep.
XFL superstar.
Don't sleep.
Donald Parham, Big Don.
Jay, this one's a lot spicier. Anthony Richardson on the love list. That's not what's spicy. QB5 for Barry this week.
QB5, is that right, Matthew?
Yes.
I somehow missed that. That's quite a leap of faith in believing in Anthony Richardson.
It is.
Largely because of the matchup against the Rams, I assume.
Well, that's partially it. The Rams have allowed 4 rushing touchdowns in their first 3 games, and Richardson leads the team in goal-to-go carries and carries inside the 10-yard line, despite only playing 1 quarter in week 2. He's played 5 quarters in the NFL, and yet he still leads the team in goal-to-go carries and carries inside the 10-yard line. You think about his week 1 game, he was the 5th best quarterback in fantasy that week. So, yes, it looks like he practiced yesterday. He needs to still clear officially the concussion protocol, but given his talent and the matchup, top 5 play for me this week, Anthony Richardson.
Our final one here on the love list before we get to some others that receive votes. Joe Burrow. A bounce-back week for Joe Burrow. He's got the Titans secondary. How many times can we say it, guys? The Titans secondary is awful. T. Higgins, a bounce-back week for him. And Joe Burrow just looking to get right in this 2023 season.
Real quickly, Jay, do me a favor. Look up, what is Joe Burrow's passing prop right now on DraftKings?
Yeah, they're not up with it because of the concerns around the calf. But he's clearly going to play. And I think the thing is with Burrow is that it might be set too low when it does come up because of the concerns around the calf. He threw 49 times on Monday.
And as soon as that prop comes up, bet the over unless it's a crazy thing, unless it's some sort of crazy number, which I don't think it will be. I think it will be depressed because of the calf and because of what he's done so far. But literally every quarterback to face the Titans this season has thrown for at least 289 yards.
Yep.
And I think Burrow's a lock for 300 yards. I bet that'll be at plus money. He's attempted 90 passing attempts over the last 2 games. Again, I think this is a get-right game for Joe Burrow in the passing offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. Tennessee is an elixir for, struggling passing attacks.
Yep.
Can we get Zach Wilson?
I was thinking it. I was like, let's really test this.
Yeah, let's get Zach Wilson against the Titans.
Oh, boy.
All right, so let's look at some others receiving votes. Brock Purdy. We saw Deebo Samuel on the injury report, but good news for Brock Purdy. Ayuk's coming back, and that was his guy. Week 1, Jimmy G makes the list. Let's see if Jimmy G can get back into practice and play. And Jordan Love for Thursday Night Football, Barry, against the Lions. He might have some key pieces back in that Green Bay offense.
20 or more fantasy points in every game this season for Jordan Love, including 20 rushing yards each of the past 2 games. He's using his legs. And so while I don't want to start Christian Watson tonight unless I really need to, it certainly helps his prospects getting a guy like that back on the field along with Aaron Jones. That's what's amazing is that Love has put up fantasy points without Jones and Watson for much of the season. It's my QB 15 going tonight. Chargers have allowed a league-high 24.6 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks, which is one of the reasons why Garoppolo, if he plays, makes the list. And then Brock Purdy, San Francisco is the second highest implied team total this week as well. Cardinals allow over 20 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks, so I do think Brock Purdy, again, more of a floor than an upside guy, but I'm as a top 10 play this week.
Yep, and on Jordan Love.
We're dangerously close to Brocktober.
Yes, we are edging ever so more close. With Jordan Love, going up against the Lions defense. The Lions defense, I think it's inflated by the fact that they got to play Zach Wilson South, Desmond Ridder, who just could not do anything against them, missed Kyle Pitts wide open, missed a lot of guys wide open. But that Detroit defense allowed Geno Smith to have like a 9.5 out of 10 game. Allowed it's Patrick Mahomes, so, whatever. But also Mahomes was having a great game, was just undone by drops.
We'll close out with the hate list of passers here, headlined by Lamar Jackson. Jay, earlier in the week, you said Cleveland's defense is essentially on a historic pace right now. On top of the fact Lamar has to play that Cleveland defense, the Ravens' offense just hasn't been in sync throughout this year under Todd Montgomery.
Yeah, just something off. Kind of a worse version of the Philadelphia offense in terms of the passing game, where it just doesn't seem like it's clicking under the new offensive coordinator. And now they get the Browns, who are the best defense in the league by margin at the moment, Matthew.
Cleveland's allowing passing touchdowns at the second lowest rate. By the way, Lamar doesn't have a passing touchdown in 2 of the 3 games he's played so far this year. They're allowing under 6 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks through the first 3 weeks. Again, now they've played some bad QBs, and Lamar obviously has the rushing to keep him high. But I'm at QB 10, which I believe will be the lowest I have a healthy Lamar Jackson all season long. Cool. The fact that he's outside my top 5, that's why he makes the hate list.
Cleveland's given up 21 first downs all season. It's insane.
It's unbelievable.
It's 3 weeks.
Dak Prescott's outside my top 20 guys. New England has allowed the 5th fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks through 3 weeks, and they faced Jalen Hurts and Tua. It's not inflated by playing bad quarterbacks as well. Dak's had under 17 fantasy points in 7 of the last 10 regular season games dating back to last year, and Patriots allowed passing touchdowns at the 5th lowest rate this season. Dak outside my top 15 this week.
Yep, and his stats would look a lot worse if Sauce Gardner had run the back that pick 6.
That's right.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.